Welcome to the Love and Marriage Talk. To our audience in our virtual world, we thank you. Thank you for staying tuned. We are so excited to bring you this upcoming episode. Once again, she is
Esther, Nate's wife.
and I am Nate. I am so excited. We are so excited
Yes, we are.
to present you the upcoming subject to our marriage couples. It's going to knock your socks off.
We always think and we always work towards that our viewers would listen to us, and while listening, they take some nuggets here and there from what we share.
Love nuggets.
And so, thank you once again. Like Nate said, we appreciate you tuning in and always even watching the previous episodes. We appreciate all the comments when you do leave them, which we haven't gotten enough. We're asking for some comments. So, guys, please, we need to hear from you. We don't want you to be always looking at us and listening to us. We want to also hear from you, even though we don't see you. So please, we appreciate you watching, sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Yes.
But yes, we need those comments to be flowing. We hope you had a good week last week, and the peace is in your home, and the love is growing in your home, and you were just being the better version of you, right?
Absolutely.
Because we are working on it every day. We work on it. Be a better version of ourselves.
Absolutely. Intentional loving. All right. Stay tuned until we return from our short break.
See ya.
See ya. All right, we are back from our short break. So, Esther, you look beautiful today.
You look handsome. Ready to have some time out with you.
All right, what are we discussing today?
I thought I just gave it out. So, we're talking about dating in marriage today. And so, I'm ready, trying to look cute for my husband. And I think he is impressing. So, we're ready to step out after this recording. And so, let's talk about dating in marriage.
Dating in marriage, wow. That whole phrase brings a lot of memories. Not just our own unique examples, but what I've observed. You know, every time we go out on our date nights, we always tend to see some type of couples,
Yes.
you know, and you know what I'm about to say. The matured ones, the ones you see they've been married for a long time, right? And the first thing you say to me is, Nate, when you get older, you're gonna look like that, man. And I'm like, yeah, when you get older, you're gonna look like that woman. And it's just such a beautiful scene to witness,
Yes.
you know, observing them from a distance and seeing how they just love on each other. You know, the man, you know, pulling back the chair for the wife to sit. Just the table manners, you know. It's just such a beautiful scene. and the smile, and we don't get the privilege to hear what they're talking about,
No, you
but
don't get to
but
hear that.
but you see the giggles and the smile, and you know that they're really talking about something
Fun.
fun,
More
interesting.
interesting, yes.
Yes. So that brings us back to our subject: dating in marriage.
And honestly speaking, before we even move on with the topic, we just want to give a shout out to all our husbands and the wives out there married for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Keep it counting, right? You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and God continually bless you. It's not easy. Like Nate was saying the other day, there is no manual for marriage.
Yes.
I haven't found one. I'm sure that somebody might have put something together out there advising on marriages, but kudos to you. Kudos to us, Nate. It is not easy. It's not an easy institution. It is what you make it, I always say. So before we move on to it, we just want to say keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job staying married, or staying married, if I should say
Yes.
that. Yes, staying married. So good job. Don't give up. It's a lot, and that's why we are here to share and to hear from you how you are staying married, and share with you how we are staying married.
Yes.
So, dating in marriage. Let's talk about it, Nate.
Let's talk about it. Let's take the journey.
Yes.
Let's reminisce.
Yes.
It has to be intentional. You know, couples, spouse, you know, in today's modern society we live in, we do not have time. You know, especially in the western part of the world. Both parents are working.
Both couples, you mean?
Both couples are working. Yes, both
Yes.
couples. If they have children,
Uh-huh.
you know, they are also engaged in their various activities. And that can be overwhelming.
Yes, it can.
That can be overwhelming, and it puts a lot of toll on the marriage aspect of things. And it's, you get into that routine of going to work, you know, providing, making sure the home is kept, you know, food on the table. And after you manage to do all that, you know, you find yourself exhausted.
You're tired.
You're tired, you know? And the week comes to an end, and you ask yourself,
Where did the week go?
where did the week go? And what did I do with my significant other? You know, what impact did I make this week? What love did I express? Because I've come to realize, just as the husband, providing, going to work and making ends meet for the family, paying bills and doing X, Y, and Z, cutting the grass and all that, it's what I do. It's part of me being the husband, right? And the woman making the home and taking care of the kids or cooking and still working on top of it is part of you being the partner. But date night, our subject of choice,
It's part of you being. It's part of her.
intentional.
It's part of her being the wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Part of her being the wife in the aspect of things of making the home and, you know, helping up with all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Yes, but date night is something the couples, the spouses do intentional
Yes.
for each other, you know, and it takes work, it takes effort, it takes dedication, it has to be intentional. You have to make sure that you are setting the time aside to make it happen. So let's jump right into it. Esther, how is your date night?
So, I think you and I have had several date nights. We continually make sure that we having those date nights, whether planned or not. And like you said, it is a lot for couples to maintain their love life, and if they have kids, the kids' life,
Mm-hmm.
the home,
Mm-hmm.
still work,
All right.
and incorporate dating into it. So,
Yes.
yes, we know it is not easy, not at all. So, if you ask how my date nights have been, or my dating has been in the marriage, or our dating has been in this marriage, I think we've done pretty good at it. And sometimes our children might say, "Hey, where are you going?" And we're walking out of the door, and we let them know we'll be back. We're just taking a ride, or we're stepping out. We'll be back. So I think it's been amazing for us. We have tried to make it part of our life, regardless. So that's what I think I would say for us. How about you? Maybe you have a different.
I'm gonna second on to what you just said, because quite recently we're stepping away for one of those eventful nights, and one of our girls asked us, "Daddy, where are you going?" And the other one said, "They're getting away from us." And
Yes, she did say that.
and that is what it is. You have to get away from the kids. You have to take a break
Yes.
and realize that your relationship existed prior before the kids. And it's worth building upon it.
Yes.
You don't take a pause. You don't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna take a pause from what we were building before the kids came into the scene. And I'm just gonna wait till the kids get older. I'm just gonna wait till the kids move out of the house. And then I come revisit, what we were building on."
So, with what you are saying, makes me want to ask our couples out there, if you were watching this together as a husband and wife, when was the last time you had a date night?
Yes,
I think it's a fair question to ask.
it is a fair
right?
question.
You might not have thought about it, and I know someone is saying, "Oh, we just had one today," which is awesome. Great job.
Good job.
Good job
Keep
doing
at it.
that. Keep at it. And I know others are also saying, I don't even remember the last time I stepped out with my wife or with my husband. And that's an honest,
And we get that a lot.
yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. At least you're being honest to yourself, right? So what we would say is, you need to take a look at it and try harder.
Yes.
Because what we would hear from you is, "Esther and Nate, you don't know how our schedule is. It's crazy. Trust me, you don't know someone's crazy schedule in their home until you hear it." So, as much as yours is crazy, someone's is crazier. And as Nate said, dating in marriage is building upon what you used to do before you got married.
Yes.
So before you
Before
got
you
married
had a kid.
or even had the kids,
Yes.
if you were doing that, why are you stopping now?
Yes.
And I'm saying before you even get married, because you realize that when you were
In the courtship.
dating, when you were a girlfriend, when you were a fiancé or a fiancée, when you were a boyfriend, you took the need, you saw the need to go out. And that's why I think it's called dating, right?
Yes.
To know each other, to be around each other more. And I think weeks and weeks ago we touched on that.
Yes.
So when you are married, why do you think that should stop? We don't think that should stop. And like Nate is saying, you have to keep building up on it. Whether you have kids in the house or you don't, you need to make a conscious effort, intentionally date while you're married. And I hear you asking, what are they talking about? How do you date when you are married? So let's talk about that, Nate.
Let's talk about that. I believe that during the course of the marriage, we get preoccupied with our usual routines of being partners and supporting each other in our various ways of life. But we lose the importance of building on our relationship. Have making a moment or a time to just sit down and say, hey, how are you? How was your day? How you feeling? What do you like to do today? See, these are some of the intentional subjects, topics that you can start having routinely to assess how you're doing in your marriage.
So someone is going to ask if it is just a matter of asking, how are you doing today? What do you want to do today? Which we do anyways on the phone, or by texting or calling. Why should it be a date time? Why is it important?
It has to be a date time because there is a time frame that is blocked.
There can be, okay.
And it has to be blocked because when you dedicate that time frame, that means everything is put on hold. All business, all affairs are put on hold. And that time frame is scheduled just for that moment with your spouse. And I believe that, statistically, it's been proven that most marriages that incorporate dating into their routine once a month, continue to enhance their relationship where,
Their marriage
is staying strong
and grows stronger.
And it's, they have great, resources.
So what Nate is saying, and I like what you're saying, Nate, that in as much as we would ask each other, how are you doing? What do you want to do today? And stuff like that, as a husband and as a wife, there should be a time set aside intentionally for just the two of you.
Right.
And as important as everything that we do is, at least if we are able to do once a month, it would enhance the relationship, it would enhance the marriage.
Correct.
It would help us to grow stronger in our marriages when we set aside that time. So I hear that question loudly out there. I don't have the time to even set a time aside. Someone has already asked. I'm so busy. I don't have that time. Yes, we understand you. Nate and I have 4 girls in our household.
Yes.
And if you have girls, you know what we're talking about. Very I don't want to say needy, but yes, they are, girls are girls, period. You know,
Yes.
they can be a handful. They are lovely. Kids are wonderful.
I actually encountered one today. Um,
So,
my youngest came to me. I
uh-huh.
didn't mean to cut you short,
Okay.
but my youngest came to me and said, "Daddy, I thought we made plans today to, hang out and do X, Y, and Z." And my answer to her was, "Yes, we did make plans today, but unfortunately, I had a prior engagement with your mom, so guess what? We would have to reschedule our plans for tomorrow." She looked at me and said, "Okay, I'll hold on to it, but we're gonna have plans tomorrow, Daddy." And this is exactly what we're talking about, you know.
Yes. So they can be very handful, and they have the expectations, they have their requests, they have what they look up to you to provide and to do. And so, if you as a father, if you as a mother does not find that time to spend time together, trust me, they will find work for you to do. And that alone is a good excuse for you to give your spouse that, oh, we have to do this for the kids today.
I'm tired.
I'm tired, or we have to do this for the kids today. We promised them. Guess what? You need to find time to step away from the home, step away from the children. And somebody might ask that question out there. And Nate, I think we do that sometimes too. Sometimes we might not step away, but we are in our own closet. I mean, we are in our own room. We are in our own space where all knockings are suspended. Don't knock the door. If you knock, you're going to hear, how can we help you, right? And we let the kids know. We're home, we're spending some time together. It could be as easy as playing some
Board games.
some game, some love game.
So you talking about spontaneous dating?
Aside that, even the scheduled ones can be just stay home, because someone might have a question. I don't have money to be going out once a month, which I doubt. You know why I doubt it? Because God has blessed you so much that you're doing great at your job and He is doing great at His job. Come on now. You have some allowances to step out.
And we definitely got some ideas.
Yes.
So
Yes.
every now and then, I take it upon myself to make dinner for the family. But when I get into those mood, I do not inform Esther that I'm going to perform such duties. So I just show up with my groceries and I perform that delicious meal for the
Yes,
family.
Yes, you try.
And
you do well.
I try. All right. So once it's done, I go to her and just let her know, "Hey, this is what I did for the family. But here's your plate. Let's talk." So it's not all about stepping outside the house to spend money on lavish dinners. No, it's not about that. It's about making it intentional. Whatever effort you put in, cardboard games, whatever event it is, it has to be intentional and it has to be dedicated to your spouse. That's all it takes.
And like Nate is saying, when he is able to do that, sometimes he might not serve me my plate, but he can come to me and say, "Hey, I cooked for the family. We're going out. The girls have their dinner. Let's go out." And we will step out. That is one of the ways. It could be just going to Cheesecake Factory or the favorite place that you want to go to and buy yourself a slice of cake,
Right.
sit in the car, eat, smile at each other, laugh about certain things, talk about certain things, and just have some time away from the kids. So when I said stay in the house, you realize that you are in the same house with the children, but you are in your own space. And that
Yes.
is staying away from the kids. The kids are not in that room with you.
Yes.
You have just each other and you giving each other's attention. You getting each
Yes.
other's attention.
And some of the things we used to do, I remember a while back, was we used to have our dinners at home and all that, but we go out for appetizers, you
Yes.
know, or just have our cocktail drinks, you know, and just sit back and relax.
Yes.
And we come out of it, and all we did spend was maybe $20, if that.
All $30.
You know, if
You
that,
can't beat it.
you know, and because we realized it wasn't about
What you're
what
spending.
we spending on. It
It's
was about
about-
the space we're gonna be in, just to be intimate, you know.
Just the two of us.
Yes.
Just the two of you.
There's
You
just
know?
ways. There's just ways around it where you can make that date in marriages intentional.
Yes. And I think Nate touched on that. That is the spontaneous ones. And there are the ones that you schedule. So basically, you know what your month look like. If you can put on your calendar the third week of the month, it could be a Sunday, it could be a Saturday, whichever works for you and your spouse, and letting each other know that, hey, on the 15th of the month is our date night this month. Schedule it.
Right.
Look forward to it. I mean, when we talk about look forward to it, I think it's so amazing. I look forward to our date night. I know we work so hard, and with the girls' activities, cheering, and all that, it's a lot that we have on our hands. And so we decided that we're not gonna do it just once a month. We're gonna do it every Sunday. So every Sunday, we step away. We can go for a ride. We can go to Cheesecake Factory, get a slice of cake. We can go to just simple places
Right.
that we love to go
Right.
and get what we want to get, sit in the car. It could be an hour drive one way or an hour and 30 minutes in and out. That is a time away we get in from the children. And we come back home and you were so refreshed, you feel like you didn't go sit at the restaurant and spend $100. It was just few dollars, but
Right.
the time you spent together is what I think Nate and I are getting to.
Stressing on, and the point of it all is, if you make it intentional, you set various things the couples are gonna, you know, catch up on,
Absolutely.
you know, because in that intimate space, whether it's in the car driving or whether it's in a sit down restaurant enjoying a, you know, a dessert or an entry, you know, there's certain conversations that you'll be privileged to, you know, discuss that may not have come out in your usual routines. But it's such an amazing time.
Yes.
It's such an amazing time.
I think dating in marriage should never stop, because I believe it is one of the ways that keeps you on your toes. And if I say keeps you on your toes, it keeps you and give you the opportunity as spouses to open up to each other. Because on our daily routine, the things that we go through at work, the things that we go through with the children, the things that we go through with our families, it's not every time that you remember to talk about something to your spouse.
Yes. Yes.
And so that stepping away, that date time, sometimes you realize that you're sitting and you're like, did I tell you that this happened at work? And it might be the first time you're even telling your spouse about that.
Yes.
Why? Because you didn't have the time. Why? Because it didn't even come up. You were so concerned about what this child need, what this kid need, what you yourself needed to be able to go through the week.
Yes.
You're not even thinking about sharing that. But like Nate said, when you step away and you are just together, there are things that comes to mind that you talk about. The things that you reminisce on,
Yes.
that you've even forgotten that, oh, I forgot that we used to do this. Those are the times that those things come up. And guess what? When they come out, it helps you to want to do it even again. Do it more, right? Because you realize that both you and your spouse enjoyed it.
Yes.
So scheduling, I think, can work for some people, and every now and then you can throw in the spontaneous ones. If you feel like, hey, he got my attention today, I think I want to spend some time with him. That's spontaneous, right?
Yes.
She got my attention today. It's not our date time, our schedule, but come on, let's do this. Let's go for a ride. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
It's just going to make your relationship thick, right? What makes your relationship thick? What makes your marriage thick? You need to spend that time. And so being mindful to schedule time to step out with one another, just the two of you, is as important as the spontaneous ones would happen.
And let's talk about the benefits.
Yes.
Because we want them to go out and date,
Mm-hmm.
and we want them to enjoy their spouse, in their intimate space, private. What's the benefit?
So I think we talk about some of the benefit whilst we are talking, but
Yes.
just to be,
Let's zoom in.
let's zoom in into it. I like
into,
that.
Into the benefits.
I like that. So if you should ask me, Esther, I hear what you're saying. I should date whilst I am married. Go out with my husband, go out with my wife, step away from the house. What is the benefit? Why should I even do that? What is in for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
The business world will say, what is in for you,
Mm.
right? What is in for you is,
I'll take that. Let me take that part.
okay,
Let me address the man.
okay, and I will address the women.
Perfect.
So, what is in for us the ladies, for us the wives? I believe, speaking for myself and maybe trying to speak for our ladies, it makes you get closer to your husband.
In what kind of ways?
It makes you know what they are thinking. It makes you know what they had thought about, or even what they thought about but was not correct, was inaccurate. So when I step out with Nate, for instance, and we sitting at a table and we talking, and he makes a comment or he says something, I have the opportunity to say, "Oh, babe, is that how you thought? That wasn't it. That's not how I even saw it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't think you saw it like that." It gives me the opportunity to be able to apologize, right? I didn't even know that there was something that he was pissed off by, or there was something that did not sit well with him. But at the time that we step out, it gives me the opportunity as a wife to hear from my husband.
So you saying in a situation where there was a conversation that needed some reconciliation
Or clarification.
you get to revisit them.
There you go. I get to. And sometimes Nate will say, "Babe, when I called you yesterday on the phone, I didn't feel like you were listening to what I was saying. What was wrong? Were you that busy?" I get to be able to tell him I am sorry. Maybe I had just gotten out of a meeting, or I was still I'm putting some thoughts together on an email at work, so I couldn't give you my full attention. I'm sorry, I apologize. So all I'm trying to say is the benefit for me is clarity. The benefit for me is endorsements. The benefit for me is getting closer to him. The benefit for me is to getting his attention, just his attention. And I'm gonna say this. Not everybody is going to, I know I keep saying that because I know what we share might not be exactly what everybody wants to hear or what everybody is doing. Is just, again, we are not masters. We are still learning and we are still enhancing our marriage. We're just sharing some of the things that we do that is brought us where we are today. So when we go on date night, this thing called the phone is not accessible. Okay? I know it's hard, but on date night, it's just Nate and I. He puts his phone away, I put my phone away. The only phone call that we might take is when we see Home Sweet Home, meaning the girls are trying to reach us, or the older ones are calling us from their phone. And guess what? They, even knowing that we are out, they would rather text. So we're just trying to say that there's so many benefit, countless benefit for me as a wife to be at a date night with my husband. And most of it all, I feel very loved. I feel very special that I'm out with this handsome man whom is my husband, and I get to get just his attention. Nobody else. The waitress come and go as they have to, but I have his full attention. So if you should ask me, I think I have it all, every benefit you can think about on going for a date night.
You covered the base, and I appreciate that. For the man, one of the things I have observed during our date night is you get to, doll up and be all beautiful in your unique outfits, get everything done. And on that special day, during the course of the time we spend, all I'm doing is just witnessing such beauty, and
Oh, you stealing and admiring.
still and admiring your beauty. And that reinforces why we're together, constantly creating those memories, and you get to engage in certain dialogues that you're not, you won't be able to entertain on your usual, routines. And it's such a beautiful thing, it's such a beautiful thing to witness the wife dressing up intentional, coming out of the house
Just for you.
just for you. So I encourage our couples out there, our marriage couples out there, our
Married couples. That word is just the married couples. Sometimes we say the marriage. I'm like, no, wait a minute, married, yes.
just married couples out there, to just incorporate that. It's so much important to enhance your marriages, to allow you to reflect and let you know what you have. Because after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years,
5 years, 2 years.
you tend to lose the sense of what you got.
And even to say that, when it comes to we the ladies, after 2 years you are married, the Lord blesses you with a child or two. After 5 years you have 2 or 3, or even if it is 1,
Still work.
it's still work. It's
Still
still
work.
a lot. It's still changes that goes on with the woman, and then she taking up upon herself with bringing into the world, another human being. Is a lot that is going on.
And sometimes the only free time you get, I remember those days.
Yes.
Those years of our lives. The only free time you get is when the kids go to sleep.
That's the only time you get.
And by then,
you retire.
Everybody's exhausted.
Yes. So it makes sense to set a time aside to be just with your husband.
Yes.
And like Nate is saying, you having the opportunity to just put yourself together, look good for that one and only man. And like I said, ladies, when you look that good and you step out with your husband and other men look at you, he is sitting there trying to be a blocker, like, please keep your eyes away from here. This is my woman, right? And you feel so special, like, yes, he is owning what he has, right?
And when you're crazy like me, you have that boldness to confront these men and say, yeah, that's my wife.
If they do.
Isn't she beautiful?
So I will tell you a story, right? One of the stories in Michigan, okay? Nate had to confront a gentleman who touched my hair. And this was even at church, guys. We were at church, and I think, I don't know, I had braids or something, and the guy was like, oh, this is so beautiful, and touched my hair. And Nate walked to this guy and said, don't try it again. Don't touch my wife's hair. And I'm standing there and I'm like, honey, he's just giving a compliment. I didn't say it in front of the guy, but in my head, I'm like, oh Lord. And up till now, anytime I remember that, I'm like, he's protecting what he's got. And so for women, for the ladies, it makes you know how your man is really jealous about you when you go on dates night. So that is another benefit, you know. So if you want to know whether your man is really crazy about you, step out with him. Have a date time with him.
Yes.
Let's see what he's gonna do.
Yes.
If somebody tried to step on that toe and you stand by and say, I didn't know you love me like that. I didn't know you are so jealous about me like that. Yes, they are. So guys, please, it is so important. So many things that you can do on date night. Like we said, it's not about the money. It is not about the huge or the fancy restaurant. It's not, sometimes it's not even about what you were wearing so much. I have a shirt on, I have a jeans on, I'm gonna put some pumps on, and the whole dress is just, that dressing is just, you know,
on
point. And I'm gonna step out with my man. It's not put some cologne on. It's not so much what you put in. It's about who you are with. And we believe that when you put time in your marriage, when you put time in your relationship, you are going to see and know and reap and benefit of the time that you are putting in. And guess what? Your children are going to appreciate that, because that is your outlet too. Just so you know, and I know you know, but just to remind you, it is an outlet for you. Like women, we do so much. We don't just take care of ourselves. We don't just take care of our husbands. We don't just take care of the kids. We take care of the home. So much on our plate. And the husbands work so hard to make sure that they're providing for the home. So it is an outlet for both your husband and yourself. It's an outlet for your wife and yourself to just go out and laugh it out. Talk it all. Sometimes I can ask Nate, what was your daughter talking about? Is she okay? It's not that I couldn't address it home. I was like, no, I'm stepping out. Let me go. I'll talk to daddy about this, right? Sometimes it might not even be the kids. It might just, like I said, it might just be among the two of you. Something that I might have said or he might have said that didn't sit well.
Yes.
I get the opportunity to ask and be mad all I want to be outside with just him. I hope you don't throw tantrums out there. No, but
And,
I'm just,
and sometimes
and it's okay.
it's needed.
And it's okay.
You get to lash out about
Yes.
some
Something,
traumatic events you went through in the course of the day.
or
You know.
even something that your spouse did that did not
Right.
sit well.
Right.
You can be there just looking into those two balls, eyes,
What
those
the hell
eyes,
were
and
you
say,
thinking?
when I said balls, I didn't mean that, okay? I'm talking about eyeballs. Oh, Lord.
Lord have mercy.
You can look in those handsome eyes and say, honey, what were you thinking about when you said what you said? Can you let me in? I don't understand why you did what you did.
Yes.
It is important. It helps you not to build up issues.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying
And also help you resolve issues.
yeah, I'm not saying keep all your issues until your date night. No, that's not what I'm saying. You need to, like me, I do address issues as it comes. But we are saying that if there are certain things that you have not talked about that you need to talk about, the date night might be one of the ways that you can talk about. It might not be at the table that you are eating and laughing and having a drink or two. It might be when you are driving back or, you know, and just talk about. But
yes,
we are just saying that it's important. It helps. It is healthy. If you are not stepping out with your wife or your husband and you are just going to work and give your 8 hours, your 9 hours, and even sometimes 10 hours to the companies that we work for, come on, you should be able to give your husband or your wife 3 hours a whole month.
and
It's doable, guys. I think we can do
I
it.
believe it's also, you know, there is so many benefits with you know, making these date events, you know, incorporating dating in the marriage. But one of the important factor is rekindle.
Yes.
It allows you to rekindle your love for each other.
Yes.
This was something you had going on
Before you even got married.
So you get to reminisce on the good old days, how you got here, you know, and especially if you've been married for a while, you know, there is a lot of good old days that you can reminisce on.
Absolutely.
And it's those memory line. Once you get there, it's just so hard to come out.
Yes.
It's like, man, I can't believe we've been doing this for X and X amount of years. Oh my goodness.
And Nate, you remember that when we were looking at the data, it says that couples who go out at least once a month, I was telling Nate, oh, we might not want to say that, but this is just coming to mind. It prevents people from actually staying away from each other.
Yes. Yes.
Because it becomes such a ritual.
Yes.
And it's something that keeps you two together.
And you look forward.
If something is going wrong, you can pick on it.
And address it
and
right away.
address it right away before it becomes a huge mountain, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, however we look at this, ladies and gentlemen, dating whilst married is crucial. It's important. It's not negotiable. I will say
No,
that.
it's not.
Because
It's a must.
when you make it a must, we're not saying do once a week like Nate and I do. No, that's not what we're saying. You can do twice a month. You can do even once a month. And that's what the data we looked up said. Once a month can help prevent any trouble that is coming down the road to happen to your marriage.
Yes.
So guys, ladies, take your men out. Men, take your women out. Take your ladies out. Take your woman out. Take your wife out.
Yes.
Take your kid's mom out that you are married to,
Yes.
that you love. Do
Yes.
it. Do it. It doesn't hurt. If you are going to be out there with colleagues from work and have a happy Friday,
Happy hour.
happy hour, have some happy hour with your wife. How about that?
Yes.
Have a happy hour with your husband. How about that? I
That is
think
true.
it's very healthy.
It's very extremely healthy.
Yes.
And we can't expound on that enough.
No, we can't stress on it enough.
It's just something you have to recognize you need that in your marriages.
And Nate, I know that somebody is asking, oh, Esther, you guys have older kids. Maybe that's why it's easier for you to leave.
When we didn't, we paid for a sitter.
Yes. So I was just going to say that
Yeah.
if you are paying for a sitter to let you go work for that company, to be paid and pay your bills, pay a sitter once a month to work on your marriage so that your marriage will thrive.
There you go.
It's as simple as ABCD.
There you go.
Is what you put in is what you get.
I remember those days. You know, we had a little babies in the house.
Yes, and those who really know us, what? Our babies are what? 16 months apart and 18 months apart.
Yes.
So you have a newborn and you have an 18 months old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still want to go on a date night? Yes, I need to go. Please. What time are you going to get here?
Yes.
And we are gone.
And we gone.
Even on vacations, we are gone like a week long. Just go and refresh, reminisce, rekindle, talk to each other. Don't have any distraction. Let it be just the two of you. It is as important as that job you go to every day is important.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Baby, I think we did it.
I hope that
I think we did it.
I hope that our brothers and sisters out there who are married would date in their marriages because it is absolutely a need.
It's a
It
necessity.
is necessary. If you want to keep your marriage alive, please date. You get to dress up if you don't dress up all the time, right? You get to wear something for just your husband. You get to just express that, oh, I used to do my hair like this. I miss it. Let me go out. I wouldn't put this hairdo on today.
Right. Let me try something.
Let me try something new.
Yes.
You get to have the new you. You get to experiment, right? And if you are not experiment for your fan, the most fan you should have,
Your number one.
your
fan.
number one fan, which is your
Yes.
husband or your wife, then who do you want to impress? Hey, I think it will give you some brownie points if you're going to make time to date with your husband and your wife whilst you guys are married, and it's going to benefit your relationship, your marriage. So I'm gonna end mine. I know Nate has something to say, but go out there and date. Enjoy it. Set time aside, be spontaneous, and get yourself enticing as much as you can on your date nights. Look special. Ladies, let him keep his eyes fixed on you, that he can keep his eyes off. He's fixed on you so that nobody else is looking at you. I know that because Nate does that all the time.
And that's the whole point. That is the whole point. The whole point of dating is to make each other priority, you know.
Yes.
Make each other priority. Fixing your eyes on your woman because she is looking adorable, she's looking beautiful, the outfit is on point, and you just, as men, we just love to glare.
Oh, I used to do this to Nate.
And that's all we do.
When he says, oh, I like what you wear, and I said, how much would you pay for it? Even though I swiped his card to buy it, right? Would you pay for it? And so it got to some time. I said, babe, you're not gonna say I'm looking beautiful because I already paid for it. You know, just
Lord have mercy.
so let's have fun dating. Come on now, you know you can do it, and you deserve it. You deserve it. You work so hard. You deserve it.
Yes. Enjoy each other on purpose.
Yes.
And family, that's what we have for you this episode. I hope you enjoyed every aspect of it. We're here to promote and encourage your relationships, and we want it to thrive and be healthy and successful. And until then, Esther, do you have anything to add on?
No, go out and date. If you've not taken your woman or your man out for a while, go do it. Find some time this week. Before we meet you next week, we want to hear some good stories about how your date night went.
And some places you went, things you did. Comment. Put that in the comment.
Please do.
Put
Let
that
us
in the
know.
comment and let us know that you guys are dating on purpose.
Yes.
Dating on purpose.
Yes.
Do that. And
We will be happy to hear from some of your date nights. Please, if you can comment and let us know what you did this week concerning dating our married couples, we would enjoy reading from you.
All right. Until then, enjoy your time with your wife or husband.
And husband.
Wife
And husband.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
We're talking about really married people today. But yes,
Yes.
enjoy loving each other. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. And we will see you on the next episode.
God bless you.
Stay tuned.
And be safe.
And don't forget to share, subscribe, and comment.
Comment.
Yes, we do need that. All right? So stay tuned until the next episode. Stay blessed.
We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.